What's up everyone? Today we're going to be looking at some meta ads. So meta ads are Instagram and Facebook ads. We're going to be going through some of the best ones in the contractor industry. We're going to be rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. And then at the end, we're going to give each ad a score out of 50. How good is it performing out of 50? All right, let's jump right into it. So what are the criteria that I'm going to be using to evaluate these advertisements? So now this criteria is the best way to analyze what a good ad looks like. And now if you're watching this and you want to create ads or you're just curious about advertisements in general, these criteria make the best quality ads. So first we're going to start with the hook. How good is the hook? Is it engaging? Is it disengaging? Is it highlighting a pain point that a customer is facing? How good is it bringing the viewer into that short square? How good is it bringing that person in? Second, we want to see that it's grade 5 English. So studies show that anything under a grade 5 English is comprehensible to the person watching. Anything over it is usually too complex and has too much jargon for the person understanding to stay with it. Now, on different mediums, the grade level changes. For example, in a newspaper, you can use a higher level of English depending on the customers you're trying to reach. But on social media, the level of English, the level of comprehension has to be under a grade 5 English. Because if it's too high, it's too complicating for the person watching. Next, we want to go for the value. So how good is the value that the advertisement is offering the person watching? Are they even giving any value before making their ask, or are they just going into the hook and just asking and just making their offer? Making the offer too early or making the offer right away most of the times turns off a bunch of customers and they're just swiping through the advertisement. And then a really important part, how good is the offer? Is the offer really too good to refuse? A good social media advertisement will be offering their viewers something more than just a regular product. You have to have a sort of lead magnet that pulls people in. This can be a free home consultation. This can be a free design. This can be a free PDF. This can be a free audiobook. This can be a free book. This can be a free AirPods. Many people do that. Many HVAC companies, they give away free iPads for an installation, a chance to win a free iPad on an installation. So that's something that you could be doing. And so depending on how good the offer is and how well the offer is structured, what their sales funnel looks like, will give us a better idea of how good quality of the ad it is. So the fifth thing I want to look at is how is the overall sentiment towards the brand? So how do I feel about the company after watching this advertisement? Do I feel good about the advertisement? Do I feel like they understood me? Do I feel like they're totally off? Do I feel like the advertisement was not made well? How do I feel towards the actual company? Because we have to remember, social media advertisements are not just for lead generation, but it's also for raising awareness about your company and how it shows. I see a lot of companies use AI and really tarnish their reputation as a good company and as a good service provider because they're just producing a bunch of AI slop in their advertisements. You don't want to be one of those companies. So the last thing I'm going to be looking at is how long has the advertisement been on the Meta Ads platform. So using analytics, we can see how long it's been on the platform for. That way we get a good idea if the advertisement's actually working or if it's not working. Usually if the ad is working and making conversions, then it stays on the ad platform for way longer. It can be staying on the platform for a year, 2 years, 6 months. It tells me that the ad is actually converting into real leads. If an ad is amazing, but it's only been on the platform for 2 weeks, we don't know if it's really converting or we just objectively think that it's a good ad. So that's a good way to see if an ad is performing really well or if it's not performing well. How long has it been on the Meta Ads platform? And you can see that in the Meta Ads library, it tells you how long it's been on that platform for. All right, perfect. Let's dive right into it and go to our first advertisement. So this advertisement is from the Brothers Flooring. From what I know about them, I really like them. I'm a big fan of the Brothers Flooring company. They do great flooring work and I know their ads are pretty good, so I'm pretty excited to see this one. Nice. I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day. Okay, so this is a short ad, 16 seconds. The best way to remodel old stairs. It has a suspense, so the hook goes from like older stairs to boom, new stairs, transition. I think this transition is great. It's visually appealing. I think this hook is pretty good. I think that the beginning text could have been a bit more engaging. The best way to remodel old stairs. It's definitely a bit wordy. It can be a little bit more simple than that, like wait for it or see what we did to these stairs, for example, some sort of more suspense in the words. But the visual also sort of expects you to make a transition. People are expecting that. So I would say the hook is pretty good. I give this hook a solid 7, as I really am a big fan of a before and after right in the first 4 seconds of the video. So that's a good thing. Moving on to the grade 5 English, I would say this doesn't have any words, which can be useful, but it can also be a little harmful for them because there's not too much communicated about their company. It's strictly visual. So that can be of a benefit. It's very simple, easy to watch, but how well is the ad converting if there's no vocal thing? This is also lead gen, but also a more awareness company too. So for the grade 5 English, I give them a 2, only because there's not too much words. It's very simple, but again, this sort of ad is not a wordy video in general. It's more of an awareness. Maybe somebody will call them, but they just want to show off their work. Moving on to the value part, I would say that this advertisement is very visually valuable. It's very satisfying to watch. It's beautiful. There's this aesthetic beauty to the advertisement in and of itself. The herringbone flooring, the beautiful stairs, that has an aesthetic value. And I would say that value in and of itself makes the video more shareable. It makes it something people enjoy consuming. So for the value, I would give this ad a 5. It has a good value. Okay, and then the offer, there's no offer here in this advertisement. So I would give it a 0 for that. Brothers Flooring, I understand it's saying, you know, call us for your flooring, but there is no actual offer being presented. There's nothing special. They're not saying, oh, 10% off. They're not saying, come and get $500 off. We'll come give you a free consultation. There's no offer there. So for that, I have to give it a 0. Overall sentiment towards the brand, I see this sort of advertisement. I love it. I feel like this company is very good at what they do. They know what they're doing. They know their stuff. So a good ad can communicate expectations when it comes to price. So if an ad looks expensive, I know when I do call them or when I reach out to this company, when I swipe up on them, that they're gonna be an expensive quote, and I'm okay with that. Now, if the ad looks cheap, but the quote is super expensive, then there's gonna be a big cognitive dissonance in the person calling them. So it's important to remember how your ad looks to the person watching. So for the overall sentiment towards the brand, I give this one a super 10 because I think that I feel really good about the company. I would trust them. There's somebody I would really go with. And then how long has this ad been on the platform? This ad has been on the platform since January 20th, 2026. So basically 6 months. That tells me that the ad is performing pretty well. So for that reason, 6 months is pretty solid. I give it a 8 out of 10. Okay, so overall, I give this ad a 32 out of 50. It's a pretty good ad. The only thing that I did not see in this ad is any sort of offer for the company. So for that reason, this ad was definitely dinged. They got a 0 out of 10 for the offer. Otherwise, this ad looks beautiful. It's visually appealing. I really like it, and I definitely feel confident about this company. Coming to someone's house, I would definitely recommend this company to somebody. So in that way, the advertisement is presented very well. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here we're looking at Taskmaster Epoxy, and they're in Mississauga. Hey Mississauga, looking to upgrade your garage. This is the copy. Let's see the advertisement for sure. So we can look at get our epoxy special. This offer looks pretty good, you know, 5 stars on Google. Let's check out what the epoxy special is. Is there even a special? Let's see. First of all, I like the local targeting, the Hey Mississauga. That's a big plus. They're locally targeting each and every city that they're in, which is a little bit more expensive, but it goes a long way in terms of personalization, relevancy to the customer. So already I see a good appeal in that. Let's dive into it.
The homeowners, tired of looking at dusty, cracked concrete every time you step into the garage?
So that hook was super good. Hey Mississauga homeowners, call out. Tired of a dusty, looking at dusty concrete every time you step into your garage? They're calling out the pain point in the customer. This is a perfect example of doing a hook well. Calling out the pain point, calling out the customer, telling them, hey, if this is you, watch this, right? Now, if I'm living in Sudbury and I'm getting this ad, which I shouldn't be getting, but say I get it, I'm not gonna watch it. And therefore, I'm not gonna waste time, I'm not gonna click through it, and Meta is not gonna see it relevant. So doing that qualification early on in the video will make each person watching the video more valuable because they've sort of sifted out the people that aren't relevant and they're not qualified to even have this service or call these people.
If If you're in Mississauga or in the surrounding areas and your floor still looks like a parking lot from the 90s, it's time for an upgrade. At Taskmaster Epoxy, we install premium epoxy flooring that transforms your garage, shop, or patio into a space you're actually proud of. We use industrial-grade materials, deliver flawless installs, and make sure your floor can handle hot tires, drop tools, and anything else life throws at it. I'm Andrew, and I run a lean crew. No bloating, no upselling, just solid work at fair prices. Our floors are so clean and sharp, you'll think twice before parking on them. Heck, some of our customers say their garage is now cleaner than their kitchen. Click Learn More now to grab our current epoxy floor special before the schedule fills up.
Okay, I really like this ad. This ad does everything super well. So let's go through the hook. So the hook, I would say this hook is a 10 out of 10. This is exactly how a hook should look. It's visually appealing, it's relevant, it's calling out a pain point within the first 5 seconds of the video. Very good. Next, let's go to the grade 5 English. I would also give this a 5 out of 5 for this. Grade 5 English was really good. Very simple to understand, not crazy work. Even though epoxy can have a lot of jargon in it, the advertiser has chosen not to use that much jargon. So for that, I give it a 5 out of 5. Value, I would say, also has a lot of visual appeal here. So it's visually flawless. It's kind of funny. They also introduce themselves. I'm Andrew. I run a lean crew. No bloated, overhead, no upsell, just solid work. That's some solid value right there. I also like the time lapse. People love this stuff. Offer is pretty good. There's no special offer. It's just click to learn more and get our current epoxy floor special. Not specific enough, so I would give that a 5 out of a 10, just because it's not telling me too much about what the special is, what the offer is. It's just saying, come get your offer. And I like the urgency before the schedule fills up. So people watching, they're like, oh, let me get this product before it fills up, right? So the overall sentiment towards the company. So the visuals are pretty decent. They're nothing crazy. The AI voiceover is not the most luxury or premium. So I know these people are in the middle of the market. They're not too cheap. They're more in the middle. But judging from the ad, I know a lot of cheaper people are going to swipe up on their ad. So they're probably getting a lot of leads, but the quality of leads are probably not as good as a couple of the other ads we've watched, just because the ad just looks a little bit cheap. But then again, they're getting a lot of leads, right? So overall sentiment towards the company, I don't think it's super premium. I don't think they will be able to charge the customers as much as they might want to. But that's sort of the style of the video. So the overall sentiment towards the brand, I would say, is a 5. Doesn't tell me much about the brand. Doesn't tell me that they're really detail oriented. I mean, I'm seeing the visuals. It looks good, but the AI voiceover kind of tells me like, oh, okay, these people they care, but they're not like actually doing their own voiceover. There's no person talking. So in terms of how I feel about the company, I would say this is a 5 out of 10, just because I don't particularly have any sort of loyalty to this company. I mean, if I'm going to call this guy, I'm going to be calling a couple other epoxy people, just because of the nature of the advertisement. It just seems like anyone can make this ad. Okay, and now let's look at how long this ad has been on the platform. So this is also from January 20th, 2026. So the same time the other ad was. That's a solid number. So for that, it's also 8 out of 10. 6 months is a long time. That means this ad is converting pretty well. I'm sure this ad is giving them a lot of business, because the whole ad is made very well, from the hook all the way to the offer, the close. They even have a close in there, so I really like that. Their special is there, 5 rated stars on Google. This is not a joke. These guys have got a pretty high score. They're at 43 out of 50, which is very good. That means their ad is performing really good. It looks good. It makes you feel good. I definitely would recommend. If I had a dusty garage or a basement, I would definitely call these guys and give them a shot. Maybe just come over to give me an estimate, give it a shot. You know, you never know, maybe they're good. I would want to look at their prices, see how their prices are compared to their competitors, but I like the advertisement and I would definitely give them a shot. All right, moving on to the next one. Let's check out this YYC Flooring Solutions. Elevate your space with YYC Flooring Solutions. I like the copy. It's pretty simple. Trusted in Calgary. It has all their information. Very good. this is a solid call to action, right? Get your free quote today. They're already doing a good job. Chat in Messenger. I don't love these headlines, this facebook.com and chat in Messenger. I wish there was more text here at the bottom. But let's check out the ad.
He's about to steady calling me. Since I'm a pimp, I let him know that I'm a pimp for free. I do the top of my slab to swinging like a G. Click the remote to my trunk and now we can clean. I know he's about to steady calling me. Since I'm a pimp, I let him know that I'm a pimp for free. I do the top of my slab to swinging like a G. Click the remote to the trunk and now we can clean.
Whoa, CapCut. This is not a good look. So overall, the hook is all right. So the hook is nothing special. I mean, it's showing off the work that they do with the craftsmanship. The fireplace doesn't look real to me, and maybe it is, just doesn't look real to me. The hook is okay. I would not watch this video for too long. So the hook is all right. I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's really just, it's not even a transition. It's just showing the work very simply. They're just simple pans. This carpet, actually, it looks pretty dirty. I actually thought this was a before, but it's just the actual flooring. So I think that this ad's visuals are okay. So let's just go through the hook. So the hook is a 5 out of 10. There's nothing special in the hook. There's nothing that really draws me in compared to any other videos I'd watch. In terms of the English, there's no English. There's no vocals here. So I have to give this a 2 out of 5 here. There's nothing being said. So when there's nothing being said, it's hard to really communicate. I mean, there is argument to be made about a quiet ad, but how well it converts is really questionable because you're just showing your work. That's it, period. You're not saying anything at all apart from the copy, right? So it's hard to compete because so many other people are making videos with ads that do perform well. So I would definitely communicate something, say something. Otherwise it comes off, in my opinion, a bit lazy. You've just put together videos with no audio. So I wouldn't recommend making a video just like that without any text, especially if you can. Okay, the value, I would say the value is okay. I would give the value a 3 out of 5 because it's visually appealing. But the reason I'm giving it a 3 and not a 5 is because the visuals are good, but it's nothing crazy. Like, I don't feel like this flooring is all right. It's nothing amazing, right? So definitely not too much value here. Overall sentiment towards the brand, I think it's okay. Like, these people seem like they want to do luxury, but they needed a better place to shoot this at. And overall sentiment towards the brand, this CapCut banner really throws everything off. This is like a big no-no. I would never ever, this honestly shows that they didn't see the end of the video, or whoever made the video sort of neglected it. I would highly recommend somebody to look over this, and this is just not a good look. CapCut banner is such an amateur mistake, especially if you're a professional. If you're spending big money on the platform, having a CapCut banner at the end of your video is a super unprofessional no-no. If anything, you want to have your company banner, some sort of representation for your banner, or no banner at all. But a CapCut banner is telling me this is a free trial, or you just neglected seeing the end of your video. Not a good look. For that reason, I give it a 5 out of 10. How long has the ad been on the platform? So the ad has been on the platform since February 2026, which is a good 5 months, and that's a decent amount of time. I'm sure they're getting a lot of good results. They must be getting people swiping up on it, so that's always a good sign. So for that, I give it a 7 out of 10. I would give it a higher if it's been on the platform for longer, but time is just a thing of its own. So this is a 22 out of 50. So in my opinion, this ad does not score well on my scorecards. Depending on the results, I mean, the results speak for themselves, but visually and physically, how you feel about the ad is not too great for me. Not too much word said. The hook is okay. There's no clear offer. For that reason, this is a lower performing ad. All right, moving on to our final ad, Tile Alive. This is for tiles, marble, granite, tile, countertop floors. They serve the GTA, including Vaughan. Let's check out their ad. This ad has been running for quite a long time, so I'd like to see that. That's good. Are your floors looking bad? Let's see. So these guys are definitely positioning themselves as a sort of cheaper option, something that is gonna solve your problem, right? Are your floors looking bad? We restore natural floors. So problem, solution. Problem, solution. You know, I like that. Problem, solution is very good. Clean, chemical, wrecked it, fractured, like problem, solution, before and after. Honestly, they're getting right to the point of what the user wants, what the customers usually want. And that is showing the before and after, showing how good they are. Free quotes. Like, this sort of vibe is definitely not for everyone. They're definitely positioning themselves on the lower side, so definitely appealing to a lot more people. So this ad will reach a lot more people. However, the people that will swipe up on this ad, I can guarantee you, will be cheaper. They will not want to get anything more expensive. So these guys will be competing on cost with a lot of other people. Just because of the nature of this ad, it's very it looks very like cost effective. Even the ad looks like it wasn't cost that much to make the ad. It looks like somebody just made it. There's a watermark on it, which is typically not recommended. It looks a bit unprofessional. Meta has said many times that any sort of watermark that sticks on the ad throughout the whole video is a big no-no, and you should not be doing it. So typically, I don't like to keep any sort of logo or watermark. If it's on the platform, people know who you are, people know your company. They have the tag of your name, so you don't need a watermark. So free quotes, I like that. Call to action is pretty good. So let's just rate this advertisement. So their hook is, I would say their hook is pretty good, you know. 4 out of 5, you know. Are your floors looking bad? An immediate solution within the first 3 seconds. I really like that. And then the second one is the grade 5 English. So for the grade 5 English, I would say this passes for sure as a 5. Their English is very simple, very easy to understand, very understandable, even visually, and you know, even though they haven't said anything, they have text on the screen, which tells me that they're trying to communicate things, and they are communicating things without physically saying it, but the text actually go a long way. And then the offer, so there's no specific offer. It's just saying free quotes. There's still an offer. It's not specific, but it's still saying free quotes, so you know, it feels free. I would give that a solid 5 out of 10 for the offer, the 5 out of 10. Okay, my overall sentiment towards the brand is really cheap. You know, they're really gonna just get the job. I personally wouldn't hire these guys because they just look a little bit too much on the cheap side. This ad just overall gives me like a very cheap vibe. There's a lot of other people that do countertops, so maybe I would give them a quote, give them a shot, but I would be expecting a very low price, and they're gonna be competing on price, not premium, high value, luxury, or even medium. I would say these guys are really aiming for the lower end of people in general. In terms of the quotes, I'm expecting a very low quote on this advertisement just because of how it looks. For that reason, I give this ad a 4 out of 10 for that. It just does not make me feel good about the company, or it does not make me feel confident in the company. So the ad's been on the platform since February 2026, which means that the ad is converting. People are clicking on it. They're filling out the form. They're going through with the process. They're sending them messages. I just want to know, I just wonder what kind of customers they're attracting. Are they high quality? I highly doubt it. You know, they're trying to attract very low, unqualified customers. So although they might be getting a lot of leads, the real question at the end of the day is how much money are they bringing into their pocket and into their business? That's the most important question. But the ad's been there for a long time, so I have to give it an 8 out of 10 in this field. So overall, this ad, I gave it a 26 out of 50. So it's okay. I mean, it's been on the platform for a while. I hope it converts, and I hope they're getting a lot of business from it. But overall, I think they also know that this ad doesn't look the best. It's not the most premiumly positioned. It's just trying to get a lot of leads and just trying to attract people and make it more shareable. They want to get more quotes, so they're definitely going to be very busy doing the quotes. That's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like more content like that, please let me know in the comments below what was your favorite part about this video. Was it the advertisements? Was it the criteria? Was it the ranking system? I want to know a little bit more about what you liked in this video and maybe one thing that you think I could add to the video. If you guys want to leave that in the comment section below, I would really appreciate that. Oh, and one more thing, if you guys are looking to run ads on the Meta Ads platform and you live in the GTA in Toronto or even Ontario, give me a shout, send me an email. If you live anywhere else around the world, I'd be happy to talk to you. You know, you can pick my brain and we can move from there.